See, now I was looking into that, and what is the differences between 6 and 7? Some people say that you can't use anything higher than 6.22 for accurate.
DOS
Uh,
7, DOS 7 is the DOS that's packaged with Windows 95 and 98. DOS 7 was never available to purchase on its own.
okay, so what are the differences?
My thought is that one difference is potentially since DOS 7 was never meant to be a standalone, that you don't have the same restriction.
Hmm.
This has been Tech Talk with Grant and Zach.
You are totally the biggest mark.
And I have half the brain that you do.
Hulk Hogan, you can go to hell.
And all these people are a bunch of stinking bums, aren't you?
Reigning United States heavyweight champion Bret Hitman Clark.
All right.
Hey, everybody out there in the world. It's late to the Nitro Party. We've been gone for a couple weeks, but we're back. And today, we're going to be watching WCW Monday Nitro from June 17th, 1996. This is going to be the episode, the Monday directly after Great American Bash 96. This show is taking place from the Richmond Coliseum in Richmond, Virginia, with an attendance, according to CageMatch.com, of 5,638 people. That's oddly specific. Drew a Nielsen rating of 3.4 versus Raw, which drew a 2.3. So pretty substantial victory for Nitro in the Monday Night Wars. And Grant's here. Zach's going to be in and out. He should join us probably halfway through for the remainder. So, Grant, anything going on your direction?
No. Richmond is, fun fact, where Patrick Henry declared give me liberty or give me death at St. John's Church in 1775. There
you go. Did you just look that up, or did you have that knowledge stored in your brain?
I did.
Be
that's
honest.
Actually, no. I did look it up. I was thinking that it was in Virginia, but I didn't remember if it was at Richmond.
So there's your U.S. history lesson for the week.
I imagine Zbyszko will touch on that. So
probably, he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
Larry Legend, if you're out there and want to get on the show, just tweet at us at Nitro Party Jobber with 1B. We'll be awaiting your response.
We've got booze or Viagra or whatever a gentleman of your status requires.
Whatever he's into. We just got to be nice to him because he'll stretch you.
Yeah, he will.
So be sure to pull the episode up on the network, June 17th, 1996, WCW Monday Nitro, and press play in 3, 2, 1, play. We were talking about how, Nitro won pretty easily this week.
Yeah.
The reason for that is, if you look and see what was going on Raw during this time, it's god-awful. Like, it is terrible. Like, we're talking, like, Bart Gunn in the main event type shit. It is not pretty over there.
I need to have a second screen with the Raw from that night playing on it so I can occasionally give an update.
That would be interesting, just to see, like the commercial break, because when Nitro went on commercial, you always flipped over to Raw to see what was going on.
Yep. And then sometimes you'd get hung up and miss something good.
Like, at the ones that I've watched, Steve Austin is the highlight of the show, but he's usually wrestling Savio Vega in the first or second match, and then you got to watch, like, the Smoking Guns and the Sultan and frickin', like, shitty Rocky Maivia before he got good. Like, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Like, Austin's great. There's just not enough of him.
Yeah, and it's interesting. He's great, and then he gets injured. And then his in-ring kind of sucks, but his personality and his gimmick gets so good.
Right. He's good. He's good for different reasons after he breaks his neck. Oh, boy.
We kind of discussed this here and there. I've been watching ahead. I don't know what we're going to do in 6 months because there's not going to be anything to talk about.
I know. It's like, hey, this is a pretty good wrestling show, guys.
Yeah, like that'll just be the whole episode.
One thing you'll notice in the crowd, it looks like they're still handing out some Hogan memorabilia.
Yeah.
Some kids got some styrofoam Hogans and some shirts and stuff. Not very many of them, but it looks like mostly youths that are wearing them.
I wouldn't be surprised if the vendors don't have to buy that stuff and then sell it. So,
yeah.
They're probably still selling off that stock because they can't just give it back.
Tonight, we are going to find out the 3 individuals who will be taking on the Outsiders at Bash at the Beach 96. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Some reason Shivani doesn't intimidate me when he's like, "You want a war? Well, buddy, you got it." He's not an intimidating man.
No.
I mean, I like him as an announcer, but when he tries to be a tough guy, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Hey, Fire and Ice.
Ah, shit.
You get to see Ice Train's moose knuckle.
I tell you
Scott
what, as over as the Steiners are, they get over even more as time goes on. We'll see.
Well, Jesus, they just throw people on their heads for 15 minutes. That's their gimmick.
Yeah, it's true.
Scott Norton just made an appearance at Wrestle Kingdom 11 a couple weeks ago.
Yes, he did.
Dude is over huge in Japan. Still is. Oh, Big Bubba. Mysterio, Malenko. So we're getting some still photos from Great American Bash, which, if you haven't watched it, go watch it, and then watch our review of it after you watch it and tell us what you think.
We'll tell you what we think. I don't remember what we thought. It was okay.
Yeah, it was a good show. Really was.
Some people say it's the best ever. I disagree. I don't know what it is, but it's not that.
It's just good.
It's good.
Just a solid card.
Yeah.
So Mongo's a horseman now.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yeah, we finally got rid of him from the announce team.
So that's good. Unfortunately, we have to watch him wrestle on occasion now, so that's kind of out of the frying pan into the fire.
He will. He's a guy. He doesn't have enough time to do it, but he is a guy who improves a lot from now until the last time we ever see him wrestle.
He's incredibly green, and he becomes serviceable, at least.
He's not as explosive. He doesn't have the pizzazz, but technically he gets as good as Goldberg ever does.
Hey, we get footage of Bischoff getting powerbombed. Let's watch this again. I need this on a constant loop as my background on the computer. It's honestly the best thing Kevin Nash has done in wrestling.
Yeah. Well, let's not forget he was like the second worst drawing champion in WWF history.
I thought he was the first. He was the first.
He might be the first.
I really think, which, to his defense, nobody was drawing money at that time because it was 1995.
I like that he calls him the
medium-sized man. Scott Hall's like 6'7".
Yeah, no,
he's not huge. A small guy.
No.
Got some nice Bugle Boy jeans there.
Yeah, he
from
does.
The Outsiders. Here we go. Whack. Oh.
Yep, too violent.
Yep, too violent. You got to buy the paper. You got to buy the re-show.
If anyone has ever bought the pay-per-view after it aired, I want to hear from you because I've never done it. I've never known anyone who's done it.
I can't say that if I have done it, I don't remember doing it. But
if someone told me it was the greatest thing ever and it's the only way you'll ever see it, I might have. But
I might. But eventually, which now you just, with the network and YouTube.
But even back then, if you thought it was going to be an insanely good event, you'd buy it. We would. So I personally, there was never anything that I was like, oh God, I better buy the replay.
Stevie Ray. A lot of people get confused with Harlem Heat's music and Public Enemy's music because they start doing the Public Enemy arm wave, and it's for the wrong team. So we got Stevie Ray, so this is due to be a technical masterpiece.
Yeah, it is. I hope he keeps the sunglasses on.
Versus the dog-faced gremlin, Rick Steiner. So, who would you say? I mean, obviously, Scott got had a longer career. He was over more because of his promos towards the end. I'd say he's a better promo than Rick. Who would you say is the better in-ring Steiner brother?
You know, I don't know for pro wrestling. I think and I don't know who is better at an amateur, but as far as technique, I think Rick's better. I think Scott's a little flashier. I think probably Scott's high points are higher because he's doing Frankensteiners. He's a little more athletic in that sense.
Probably a better raw athlete than
Rick.
Yeah.
But technically, maybe if you average them out, I would think they would be pretty similar. Rick's, and it's almost hard to say this because the thing with Bagwell, but I think Rick's a lot safer.
I'd agree with that, and the deal with Bagwell, that could have happened to anybody.
Right.
I mean, that's but oh shit, Rikishi bump from Rick. Yeah, I'd agree with that he's safer. He probably drops fewer people on his head. I mean, they still drop a lot of people on their head, but
yeah,
without watching their entire catalog of matches, which stretches back to the early '80s.
Yeah.
That we're splitting hairs.
Yeah.
But one thing I would love to be privy to is because Rick and Scott growing up together. Like what their backstage shoot wrestling matches look like.
Yeah.
Because I mean, these two guys are both two legit college All-Americans.
It's the Steiners that Sting talks about on the road.
See, just dropped Stevie right on his head as we say that.
It's the Steiners that I believe Sting talks about being on the road with, where they would hang people out of the car and open up other wrestlers' doors going down the highway and pull people out of their car.
Huh. That sounds ludicrous.
Yeah.
So Rick Steiner just hit what would be his finisher in a couple years, and Stevie Ray no-sells it. And how about you sell the fucking move, Stevie?
Yeah.
Just because you hit the power slam doesn't mean that move never happened. Hope you miss whatever this bullshit you're going to do. Good. Good, I'm glad.
It was a second rope kneeling, I don't know.
Forearm smash.
He was trying to fist him.
Oh, that's it. Steiner line for the win. Uh-oh, look out. The talented Harlem Heat is in the ring. God, Booker T's the man. I didn't really appreciate how good he was back in this time. I
didn't until that Best of 7 series that we've already referenced 100 times since we started this.
Right.
But
which, being with Benoit helps him a lot there too. But even by himself, I mean, he's good enough where he can carry a match.
Yeah. And this is interesting, and I guess maybe they don't have it dialed in. Booker T in WCW, he never gets over as a heel.
So Scott sacrificed himself, takes a knee to the ribs to save his brother. That's good storytelling.
That is.
Because Scott's got a match later tonight with the Giant for the title. I wonder if that'll come into play. Probably will.
Yeah. If it were today, it wouldn't.
No.
Booker T never really gets over as a heel.
When he had his King Booker run, it was probably the most over as a heel he was. He kind of had an interesting thing there.
Yeah, but in WCW, I mean, they flirt with it that way with Harlem Heat, but then anytime he comes out on his own, he's a face.
Well, it's because he's fun to watch.
No, exactly.
So he has trouble getting over as a heel. Sounds like Disco Inferno, maybe? I think.
Yeah.
Yep, there he is.
It's interesting. So starting right now at this Nitro, and more so later, there were guys that were like staples of every Nitro in the beginning. Disco Inferno, Alex Wright, those guys, Steven Regal, they disappear for a while. But then June, July through August, all those guys start coming back and being on Nitro every week again.
Right.
And it'd be just interesting to know what was going on backstage with the booking and all of that.
Well, and you'll see guys just like Guerrero and Benoit, those guys will disappear for a few months because they're touring in Europe or Japan or something like that.
Well, hopefully Disco didn't book this match, or it might be him versus the Invisible Man.
Yeah, he's got some interesting booking ideas.
We need to like announce one of those. We need to talk about one of those per show. The Disco Book of the Week.
Oh my God, he has the evil architect Bill Ding.
Yeah.
Jesus. So we get the battle of the two best heads of hair in WCW. We've got Disco Inferno.
Yeah.
Look at that mane on this guy. It's really his only character trait is that he has nice hair.
They should have booked these. He should be a gimmick. He should be the White Lion and insinuate that he was in the band White Lion.
Yeah, I mean, he does. He looks like he's straight out of like one of those 80s metal band like frickin' Slaughter or one of those types.
Or Wasp.
He's too pretty for Wasp.
That's true.
Wasp was some rough dudes, man.
That's true.
So this is our first look at Desperado Joe Gomez. You'll remember, I believe in the last Nitro we talked about, he got knocked out in about 2 seconds in a hallway by Arn Anderson and was never seen again. So this is our first look at Desperado Joe Gomez. These dudes have some nice hair, I'll say that.
Does Disco have regular wrestling trunks on under his pants?
I think he's got some like panty lines going on. That's what it looks like. I love the overdone atomic drop ass bump that they do.
I would also like to point out, and I don't know this for sure, but we're probably looking at two guys that aren't on steroids.
Desperado Joe, who he shouldn't have been called Joe Gomez. Just Desperado Joe, like he's about to box Homer Simpson or something.
Yes.
Man, look at Pinzer's cummerbund.
I
That
know.
is hideous. Fight him, Disco. But no, Joe Gomez definitely not roided up. Disco's got some definition. I mean, you can tell he's in good shape.
He got a belly though. I mean, when he breathes out.
Yeah. I don't know if he's hitting the juice real hard. Nice leapfrog. Yeah. Jesus Christ. By leapfrog, I mean lift your leg 4 feet off the ground. Is it bad that I'm rooting for Disco Inferno? Because I just want to see him absolutely murder fuck Joe Gomez.
Yeah. Disco's an interesting guy. As far as just wrestling and character, and there's not really, there's no
been
division.
Around to see a lot of shit. I mean,
yeah, and at this time, there's not really a division he fits in well with.
No, eventually he will go to cruiserweight for a while.
Yeah,
and he'll get a run with the TV belt. Is about his height.
But even then, right now in the TV title scene, you got guys that are a lot stiffer, a lot more technical.
Right.
In Luchador, he's the size of a Chris Jericho. I think they might be drastically different.
He might actually be a hair bigger than Jericho. I don't know. They do wrestle, so we'll get to see that.
But he doesn't.
I don't know.
But he doesn't move quite like Jericho. He kind of moves like a bigger guy who's smaller.
Yeah. I mean, it seems to me like he's a pretty safe worker.
Yeah.
His style isn't real flashy, but you don't see him hurt guys.
Right.
I mean, he has a pretty basic moveset, but everything he does looks good.
Yeah, no, it definitely does.
Swinging neck breaker.
That's his finish, right?
I think that was his finish for a while. Uh-oh, he's showboating.
Doesn't he always screw himself over with this?
This is kind of his gimmick now, is that he dances too much.
I was going to say he's going to roll him.
Gonna get crucifix pin. And
he was dancing.
Big win for Joe Gomez, and the crowd likes it for some reason.
It's because Disco was disco dancing.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if Disco's won in a while. I think he's.
That's kind of his gimmick.
Yeah.
Is that he wrestles well, but he just screws himself over, and he doesn't care.
Right.
Like, the thing is, he loses, and he doesn't care. He's like, it's cool. I can still dance.
Yeah.
He's got a very positive attitude. So, I think this is the height of Desperado Joe Gomez in WCW, because he's going to be jobbed out repeatedly pretty much after this.
Yeah.
He's actually going to feud with Mongo a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Oh, so we get a interview with Flair and his three
moderately attractive middle-aged women.
Yes. Absolutely. God. I
mean, I guess if you're Flair's age.
Hell, I'm 15 years younger than Flair is right here, and I wish I was Ric Flair.
And I guess really what I'm saying is it's probably more of a positive thing that they didn't go out and get 3 18-year-olds.
3 like strippers from Charlotte.
Yeah.
It's age appropriate.
Yeah, and
they're mostly covered up. It's like tasteful what they're doing. It's not like WWF will be in 2 years where you got
with Deborah.
you just got asses hanging out.
No, this is the most clothing you see on Deborah.
Yeah, she gets pretty well naked a couple years from now.
I like the random shirts hanging on the lockers.
Yeah, what we got? We got a Hulkamania. We got
a blue and
WCW.
yellow Hulkamania.
Blue and yellow Hulkamania. That's something you don't see.
And then it looks like maybe a Hogan bandana hanging down lower.
And a green towel.
And just a green microfiber towel.
So we get Flair Savage again.
Yeah.
Which, since I've seen it already, I will say this. I think this is the blow-off to their feud.
Yeah.
Because shortly after this, Flair goes into the U.S. title scene.
Yes.
So, which I'm not a fan of, but...
No, it's interesting booking. I don't mind it as an idea, and I think, and we'll see what happens with it. I wish that were something that they did, and they, Ric Flair said, "Hey, I don't have it anymore. I can't beat these young guys. I'm not in the world title scene, but if you want to be where I've been, you got to get through me, and I'm going for the U.S. belt, and
I'm tired of seeing this belt get disrespected."
No, exactly. Like, I'm okay with that. It's, Ric Flair's on his way down. We got new guys in the main title scene, but he's still good enough for a mid-carder.
Grant, you're going to be getting a text that isn't for you. I'm texting Zach from downstairs to tell him to bring snacks.
Oh, yeah, that's a reasonable text.
Double A and the Crippler. Crippler still showing. I think those are real bruises on his face from the Falls Count Anywhere match at Great American Bash. I don't think Chris Benoit is putting on makeup. Those are probably real.
They could be. And if he didn't get
listen
those,
listen to how over these fucking guys are.
And if they weren't, he might have punched himself that night to make it look that way.
Yeah, that's possible. He thought about shaking that guy's hand, and he's like, "Wait, I'm a heel. I can't do that."
Next on Nitro, the American males get destroyed.
We're in Richmond, so we are in Horseman/Crockett country.
Yeah,
and we get the American males, baby.
They might be one of my favorite jobber tag teams ever.
And, calling them a jobber team's a little strong, maybe. I mean, they've won their fair share of matches since we've been watching these.
I don't know what their record is. I don't think it's good.
I mean, they fucking won the titles for a week. She likes it. Jesus Christ. Oh, this is the highlight of her year.
Yeah, it is.
Larry Zbyszko says something about Arn Anderson. I don't know if it's in this match, but maybe some matches we reviewed previously. He calls him an endomorphic cyborg,
Yes.
which I love. Like, I want a shirt that, which I'm not an endomorph. I'm skinny, but like, if you don't know what an endomorph is somebody whose proclivity body shape is sort of rounded.
Yeah.
A little bit bigger, thicker chest, usually has a little bit of a belly. But Arn Anderson looks like that and can wrestle for 60 straight minutes and not take a breath.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I just love that term, endomorphic cyborg.
I work with a guy who got some of the Arn Anderson style glasses today. He's an older guy with a beard, kind of shaped like that. And I sent basically my whole team at work an email. I copied them in on it. It was addressed to him. I said, hey, see you went with the Arn Anderson glasses. Good call. And it was a picture of the Four Horsemen with Anderson wearing those. And
nice.
He was both annoyed and amused.
That's awesome.
He said, fine, next year for work Halloween will be the Four Horsemen. And I called Tully Blanchard.
So Arn and Benoit, I really like their team. And obviously Arn isn't wrestling. Thank you. Zach just brought me some sort of brownie type concoction.
Is it a prescription brownie?
I don't know. It's highly possible. Arn and Benoit, they don't tag for long because Arn isn't wrestling for very much longer, but I really like their team.
Yeah.
You've got the real aggressive, young lion type guy, and then you've got the wily veteran, slightly more technical, but just smarter veteran. I really like their team dynamic.
Yeah, no, and you can sell. I mean, that's a common team from back. I mean, it should be still with good booking, but you kind of sell it as almost like an apprenticeship. The older guy takes the younger guy under his wing, and then he can turn on him, and there's options there.
I mean, and both guys sell their asses off, which is good.
Yeah, I wish we were watching them in the Steiners right now.
Yeah, which goddamn Benoit's fucking. He just gets in there and he just looks like he's fucking. he's just stalking him.
Yeah,
and the crowd loves him for it because he's a horseman. Is it bad that I want to see him just fuck up Buff right now?
No, he's chopping some respect into him. It's a good sell.
God. Nice.
Yeah,
just tells your drop kick to fucking get lost. Since that's one of your 4 moves that you know how to do as a drop kick.
Spinning is another move, not even necessarily offensively, just
nice
spinning.
Arm drag. That was mostly Benoit doing that arm drag. Is he going for a famouser? Standing frog splash?
Yeah.
I know Scotty Riggs on Twitter was very complimentary of, Arn Anderson, about how younger guys, and that's why he's an agent now.
Yeah.
I mean, he would always take guys under his wing and really talk to them about match structure and all, just things you need to know.
Yeah. I did some, and I've kind of been saving this because I knew you'd be the guy to talk about this with. Arn Anderson's one of those guys, and I think he had an interview not very long ago where he made mention of, injuries nowadays, this, that, and the other, and about how guys used to wrestle 6 nights a week and they were in ring shape. You got used to taking bumps.
That was on his Table for 3 show.
There was
with Flair and Savage.
There was a Reddit article or page or whatever, and people were basically ripping him apart because he said that and his career ended due to injury. I would like to point out, and I think you can attest to this.
Hold on. We'll get back to that. The crowd is literally losing their shit for Buff Bagwell getting a mud hole stomped in him by Chris Benoit. That is great. Go ahead.
And I think you can probably attest this along with me. Running the ropes for 10 minutes for the first time will leave you with bruises from your hip to your fucking armpit.
Yep. I've done it. That's about the extent of my wrestling training.
So have I.
Learned how to run the ropes.
And I was that.
Oh Christ!
Yeah, fuck.
Don't do that.
I was insanely bruised, and you look at these guys, and they're not black and blue from fucking asshole to elbow.
Well, they've done it a lot.
They're conditioned for it. I mean, there's some truth to what Arn was saying.
Man, listen to the fucking crowd.
They're not paying any attention to Cotton Candy Guy out there in the stand.
They just love the Horsemen. They don't care if they're heels.
I wonder if they didn't get a turd like Mongo to maybe put them over as heels better.
Possible, like in other parts of the country.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's too fucking likable. You need a turd. You need someone that's hateable.
Ooh, hot shot. Oh, nice little touch there. Arn grabbed the boot, got some leverage. That's it. Benoit's like, what are you going to do about it? That was a good match.
That was a good match.
I enjoyed that. Crowd was into it.
Yeah.
That's about the best match we've seen out of the American males so far.
Yeah, I think so.
Which, I mean, look who they're in there. I mean, they're in there with two of the best. Oh, Savage is reinstated, everybody. Yep. Look out.
And I like the reason. It's because people wanted him to be. That's what they say.
People demanded it.
So it doesn't matter how many felonies you commit.
What Zbyszko was ranting about?
Oh, no, I was just saying it doesn't matter how many felonies you commit. If the people want you, you'll be reinstated.
Oh, gotcha. Like threatening to blow up.
Yeah.
Threatening to blow up government buildings. You eating healthy, Zach?
I'm trying.
Zach's eating chicken and greens before he hops on here, so.
Which is much healthier than eating green chicken.
The cookie.
I'm picking at it. It's kind of hard to eat.
It's very crusty, crummy.
Horsemen are over huge.
Yeah.
They just got done murdering, no pun intended, the American males.
Oh, Jesus.
It's hard to fucking avoid. I mean, Jesus.
It's true. I mean, imagine if we were watching an old 1920s pro wrestling promotion, and the top heel in the company was Adolf Hitler.
Yeah,
you know,
kind of hard not to talk about. Holocaust.
You know.
All right, this is as good a time as any to talk about this. We're gonna get serious for a second. All right, Jimmy Snuka just passed away yesterday or 2 days ago. From what I've seen on Twitter, social media, Triple H, WWE, everybody is basically going out of their way to talk about how great he was.
Yeah.
This is a guy who, for all intents and purposes, it looks like probably might have allegedly
murdered his girlfriend.
Got away with murder in 1983. Yeah. Now, look, I'm not taking anything away from what Snuka did in the ring. Snuka, and this may be a hot take, in my opinion, Snuka wasn't a quarter of the wrestler Chris Benoit was, from an in-ring standpoint. Now, granted, Snuka did some innovative shit, jumping off the cage.
Snuka was great for his time, but Benoit blew him out of the water.
Yeah, but that being said, so if Benoit would have killed his wife, and then
okay, keep going.
Just listen. There's qualifiers. If Benoit would have killed his wife, got away with it, wrestled for 15 or 20 more years, been inducted into the Hall of Fame, and like basically just put Chris Benoit into where Snuka is now.
Yeah.
That's essentially what we got going on. But since Benoit was a decent enough human being to at least kill himself after he did the shit, and basically remove all doubt is all that he did by doing that. That's why I find the WWE very hypocritical about that. That, I mean, Raw's on. We're recording this on a Monday. Raw's on in 2 hours.
Yeah.
You think?
They're doing a tribute.
You think Snuka's getting a tribute screen?
Absolutely.
Probably.
Uh-huh.
Which, granted, Chris Benoit did too, but they didn't know.
Then they took it back.
They're like, "Whoops!"
So your point
no
is,
backsies.
Your point is, who says Benoit was guilty in that situation? I mean, yeah, he probably was. Yes,
Yeah.
he was.
He was never tried.
But he never had a trial.
Yeah.
Like him and Snuka's situation were no different, other than the fact that Benoit happened to kill himself.
They might have been different based on the circumstances. It sounds like Snuka didn't mean to kill
Obviously,
her.
they were very different, but
he
what I'm
still
saying,
killed her.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
So that's
I would like to point out that Snuka's charges were dropped, but they were dropped after it was shown that he was incompetent and unfit to stand trial.
And then he died 3 weeks later.
They dropped the charges because they knew if they went to trial, he'd be acquitted as unfit.
Yeah.
So it's not like they found that there wasn't enough evidence, and he was found guilty in civil court.
I'd say he probably would have been found guilty.
Yeah.
Had he not been,
if he was like
dying
a
of
healthy
cancer.
65-year-old man, he probably would have been found guilty. But who knows?
I read something the other day. John Tenta was Earthquake, right?
Yes.
Did you remember that stable in like late 90s WWF, the Oddities?
Yeah, he's Golga.
Okay, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
I just found that out yesterday.
Jesus. You do a wrestling podcast.
That one slips my
yeah, he was Golga in the
my learning criteria growing up, I guess.
Clay, do you remember when we were first active, back when we were active on WrestleCrap? John Tenta posted on there a lot.
Yeah, he was a contributor to WrestleCrap.
Right as he was passing. That was in the middle of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember when you guys did that.
Yep, John Tenta was a WrestleCrap contributor probably 15 years ago.
Hell of a nice guy.
So we get a return match with... So that's just my hot take for the evening.
Gotcha.
That why are we all freaking treating Jimmy Snuka with kid gloves when, come on.
Yep.
Anyway.
The only way to be proven guilty without any trial is to kill yourself, basically.
So remember that, all you future murderers out there. As far as I'm concerned, you're both potential murderers. Okay.
On to a lighter note.
Hey,
what's he doing?
Quick question. John Tenta. Now he's got 2 arms and legs, but is he a fish? I don't remember.
No, he's a man. He's a man now. So, I don't even know what's happening. Why are we even having this match again? We just had this the night before this on Great American Bash.
Because they're under contract.
Yeah, I guess this is... Bubba is using his return clause.
Hey, by the way, Big Van Vader's at the DDP Yoga House.
I saw
that. He's trying to lose some weight.
Trying to lose 700 pounds so he can
good
be an
for him.
overweight man.
I'm glad to see him in there. I hope DDP can do him some good.
Did either one of you guys hear him on Chael Sonnen's podcast?
I have not.
I thought he didn't show up or something.
No, he didn't show up once, and then he didn't show up another time.
Oh, Jesus.
And then he was finally on there, and just I don't know. He was very rambling. I'll say that.
Well, did you listen to his Hall of Fame speech when he inducted Stan Hansen?
Yeah.
That's some rambling right there. I mean, he's not the most eloquent person in the world. He just fucks people up.
Yeah.
He just cuffs people in the ear as hard as he can.
Yeah.
Oh. Boy, oh my! You want some of that?
Maybe later.
Yeah, let's just sit that over there. Yeah.
So, what did I miss?
You missed the Benoit American Males match. Benoit and Arn. You missed? Rick Steiner versus Stevie Ray, and Disco Inferno versus Joe Gomez.
Oh, good old Joe Gomez.
Desperado Joe, as he's now called.
If anyone would like to know what a Southern wrestling fan looks like, look about midway up on the hard camera in the crowd. That is the perfect cross section.
Just a lot of African Americans, good old boys in polo shirts. Big splash from Quake Muffin here. Dude's athletic for a guy his size. I mean, he's gonna no-sell the megaphone. Former manager.
Yeah.
When he was the Earthquake.
Is the Dungeon of Doom still around?
Yes. Yeah. For some reason.
They are around for a while after this.
They're around at the same time as the thing that's about to happen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For months.
No reason.
For months.
So Power Slam.
Well, my family has passed away.
I was going to say, is that a
Some
Power
blunt
Slam
trauma.
over there that you're calling?
You actually heard that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yep.
I was
There was
upstairs.
a loud noise. I said blunt trauma. Oh my God. Shit got dark. Now, why is Tenta heeling out and putting his feet on the ropes? He's a baby face in this match.
Yeah.
Just because he wanted to?
Look at that rat tail on that kid with the green shirt.
Oh, geez. That's a very 90s thing. You don't see rat tails anymore.
The rat
I don't know, I think
tail-
even in
look
the
at
90s,
rat
that
tail
was
on
kind of like-
Tenta.
Fucking Kevin Green's got a rat tail.
I know.
What's he got here?
A sock? Probably filled with something.
Sock full of nickels. Oh,
Oh,
jeez! He hit him right in the eye! Like, that was legit. Oh! Why is it? Fuck, Bubba! What the fuck did he do to you?
I hope that's filled with something fluffy.
I hope that's filled with, like, something.
Ah, that has to hurt regardless. Look at that.
Oh. Even if that's filled with, like, Super Balls or something.
I mean, both of these guys aren't around to say, but I bet during that match something happened. There was a stiff shot.
Dude, he straight up hit. Oh, we're
Oh, there you go.
dude.
You're kidding me.
He's legit hurt.
He's
right
gotta
now.
be.
He ate a sock full of quarters in the eye socket.
Wow.
What
You
the
could
fuck,
see
Bubba?
the stiffness there.
Jesus Christ.
Jimmy's like, man, dude, what the hell?"
That escalated quickly.
He had to get pissed off during that match.
Something happened. What the fuck? Usually Trailer's pretty safe.
Yeah.
Like he'll whiff a punch by 5 feet just to not hit the guy.
Yeah.
I want to see a replay of the fucking sock full of goddamn nickels.
Yeah, no shit.
He just straight up waffled him in the face. Dude, check out Jimmy Hart's sneakers.
They're green and
They're pretty styling.
Jimmy Hart is pretty styling.
We're gonna get a slow-mo replay of the sock to the face.
I got the DVD copy of the Andy Kaufman "I'm from Hollywood."
Nice.
It's fantastic.
That's awesome. They're checking on him. Look, like he's legit hurt.
yeah.
The guys were in the ring checking on him, probably because he's got a broken cheekbone.
Freaking orbital
Sockets caved in. Fuck. What if it was the NWO versus the Dungeon of Doom instead of the Horsemen?
I don't think
Company would have been out of business
In-
3
in-
years sooner.
Invaders from another company versus fucking cartoon characters.
Invaders from another dimension.
Yeah, the Dungeon of Doom should have been like, there should have been a crossover comic with like the Justice League.
Dungeon of Doom would have made a good, like, cheesy, like, cartoon.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Superstar, or what was that? Wrestling, Rock and Wrestling.
Rock
but,
and
like,
Wrestling.
Dude,
Dungeon of
dude,
Doom.
No. You cross them over with the fucking Justice League. You got fucking Aquaman versus Shark.
Fuck, cross him over with goddamn He-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
they make great He-Man characters.
Licensed to print money.
They basically are He-Man characters.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. I mean, they live in a big old fucking castle where the
Yeah.
water's not hot.
I mean,
Kevin Sullivan.
It's like, it's not hot.
King IK and Skeletor are two totally different people, but
Kevin Sullivan's Orko.
Nice.
yeah.
So my Halloween costume suggestion to Grant is it requires very little effort. Is that he wraps himself in toilet paper as the Yeti,
Okay.
and his 2-year-old son little face paint, little miniature yellow bathrobe, goes as life-size Kevin Sullivan.
Yeah, perfect. You just need a robe.
It's like that's easy. Like the most money you're spending, maybe $20 on that total.
No one would get it, but it'd be hilarious.
The Yeti and Kevin Sullivan.
The one house that got it would give you all their candy.
Here, just take it. My
Just
light's off.
Pray you run into some 90s wrestling mark.
Yep.
And you just got to bear hug people, Grant.
Just
And hump
gyrate
them.
hips on people. give them the old dry hump.
Give him the old Yeti.
They're reminding you of Hulk Hogan still.
Yeah, that's a good point. You got to, hey, don't forget about him.
They have a Hulkamania shirt behind them. And right there.
All right, from now on, and I'm charging all of our listeners, all 6 of them, from now on, referring to lackadaisically going through the motions with a woman will be referred to as giving her the old Yeti.
Just sort of dead fishing it.
Yep.
That's good. Let's make that a thing.
Just grab, squeeze, and hump.
Give her a Yeti the shit out of her.
I am so gonna Yeti you.
Oh, God.
I think when they were doing
whoever this is.
I think when the WWF had Dink, they should have done Kevin Sullivan for that.
Nice. Mm-hmm. So we got a red carpet that makes me think it's Flair and the way the crowd's reacting.
But it's Macho Man's music.
Oh, I need to turn my shit up because I can't hear that.
Turn your thing all the way up. That way we can hear Grant great. Grant, say something.
Something.
Ah, that's good.
Yeah. Technology.
What is this? What's this timer? Oh,
so
the
hour.
It's that
hour.
weird thing they do where they just set off fireworks for no reason.
I think Luger could sell those fireworks pretty good if he's walking down like during the halftime there and
just get all startled.
Yeah.
No, that would be great. You need someone who gets afraid.
Savage is going after Bobby the Brain after last night.
So Savage is allowed back in the arena?
He's reinstated after the Great American Bash because the fans demanded it.
Ah, of course.
Like, so now wrestling bookers like listen to the fans.
Look at Heenan. Look at Heenan.
Dude. Heenan, if you haven't watched it, like occasionally when Heenan would wrestle back in the mid 80s, he's not a bad worker at all. Like
he's good at taking bumps.
Like he's very good. He's very competent in the ring.
Yeah.
I guess the reason Heenan didn't want to be a manager or wrestle at this time in any way is because he liked to just going to Nitro and Thunder occasionally.
Yeah, and he had a bad neck, I think, from when the Ultimate Warrior clocked him in the back of the head at Survivor Series 90.
That's right, yeah, because
I think it was Survivor Series 1990.
Cornette just talked about that on his podcast this week. About how Warrior basically broke Heenan's neck and never even said sorry.
Yeah, I mean, he fucking clocked him in the back, and Heenan didn't know he was going to do it, so he couldn't brace for it at all.
Yeah. Flair Savage.
So he's got a blonde, a brunette, and another sort of redhead / brunette.
So Flair got a hold of Deborah.
So fuck, marry, kill.
I don't know.
Oh, never mind.
Can't really use
Damn
that.
it. Son of a bitch.
And there's reference 2 for the night.
Dang, I didn't. I feel bad, sort of.
Oh, man.
I wonder if we turn people off from the podcast when we say those things.
I don't know. People, we're not trying. We're just fans oh, yeah, screw you, buddy. I thought he was actually going to, shake his hand for some reason. Even though he's done that thousands of times, he still fakes you out. People, we're not trying to be, offensive. We really aren't. This is just us talking like we do in normal, everyday conversation.
Which is quite
with
offensive
each other.
to most people.
So, you know the worst... The worst of that game with these 3 is that, Yeah,
you only really got one option there.
It's going to be at least creepy on one of them.
Yeah.
I'm interested in what he says here.
What?
He literally just said this.
He's just making shit up. Ooh. Ew. That is personal.
He literally has no idea what his next sentence is going to be at this point.
He's like, I better shit talk this fan so I can think of something else. Like, these two have been feuding for a while.
Yeah, quite a bit.
What's
Basically since Elizabeth showed up.
That was at Super Brawl, where she hit him with the shoe. Yeah, they've been feuding since February. It's June.
Yeah.
At least they moved beyond shoes and hot coffee.
True.
Yeah, I'm glad that stage is over.
Oh, shit.
What the heck is that? Oh, is that
this match got 3 3/4 stars from Dave Meltzer.
Really?
So it's a good match.
Huh.
I love it that they're fighting with their ring gear still on. Are we ever gonna finish?
Still got the glasses.
Are we ever gonna finish Napa wrestling?
Yes.
I
It's like yes. I have the
files,
plans
so.
right here.
They're all on the hard drives.
I think about that monthly.
Flair's still got his damn robe on.
Heck, we can use. I got 2K17. We can use that and just up the engine a little bit.
There you go.
Do some commentary.
We need to do it before those people die.
Yeah.
Martin will be there until that day. So
Martin and Allen are still there. We're talking about shit nobody has any clue.
Totally.
Total inside shit.
Yeah.
I want to see them wrestle the entire match. Macho with his cowboy hat, sunglasses, and jacket on, and Flair with his robe on, and just work the whole match. Like 10 minutes straight in their shit.
Uh-huh.
Who's that guy? The security's like, dude, you gotta back up.
Dude, calm down. Calm down, dude. And we're back.
That security guard looked like he's probably a power plant guy. He was massive.
A lot of them probably were.
He was bigger than fucking either one of these guys.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So this is really the blow off to this feud, and they, like I said, they've been feuding since Super Brawl. So 4 months.
March, April, May, June, 4 months.
Yes, I know it was 4 months. That wasn't a question.
It seemed like a question. 4 months is kind of how you said it.
I like the under
under the
what did Meltzer rate this, by the way?
I think it was 3.5 or 3 3/4 stars.
That's bullshit. You can't quarter this shit.
Well, Dave Meltzer did. 3 3/4 stars.
That's stupid.
That's what he does. I'm sorry.
No, you just need to have.
He's rubbing cantaloupe in his face.
If you're gonna do quarters, you need to have a bigger fucking scale.
Speaking of Meltzer's stars, listen to Cornette's podcast from this week and see what he thinks about that.
Yeah, no.
We talked about the
Omega.
I listened to part of that.
Yeah.
Flair likes that.
Yeah, he does.
He's a drunk. You couldn't. It wasn't a gig champagne bottle, so he couldn't just waffle him with it. He's not. I mean, if that were Big Bubba, he would have just fucking hammered him with it.
No, he would have put it in a sock first and hammered him with it.
So do not spit on my keyboard.
Good point. I held it.
Has there been color on Nitro yet? Blood?
No.
Man, not that I can think of. We had blood at some of the pay-per-view cage matches.
Right.
I gotta think Turner's not a fan of that.
Probably not. I don't think we have.
You know, some guys take liberties sometimes, but I know
it
happens.
Was he just trying to shove a candlestick up Ric Flair's ass a second ago?
Probably.
I think that happened. These guys are beating the shit out of each other. Like, this is way better than the last few matches they've had.
Yeah.
When the crowd's into it, it always makes the match so much better.
And down.
He just hit the Z button.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 10 years prior, this would have been a divorce papers on a pole match.
Right.
Right, yeah.
Hell, these guys had a world title match at WrestleMania
8?
4 years before this, WrestleMania 8.
Yeah.
It wasn't the main event, which was Flair's hulking up, it appears. So what's he doing?
WrestleMania 8 was 92.
92, so 4 years,
Yeah,
as
okay.
I said.
I'm just I'm thinking out loud.
Math is hard for all of us.
Yes,
it
especially
is.
me. If you or anyone else has difficulties with math.
Oh! Dan Marino's like, I'll help you, Mach.
Flair just flared over there in the corner.
Why is he's crawling under the barricade?
He's looking under them grills.
He's like, hey brother, hey brother,
Oh, there's
hey
no
brother,
grills there.
hey brother, hey blade me. Like just hands it to a fucking
Just
fan.
a random person.
Blade me.
Got a sharp object. Kick him in the face.
He is asking everyone for cocaine.
You got any drugs?
You got me go. What did we decide that was?
That's Norm Macdonald doing Letterman.
That's like the fourth time.
You got any gum?
It's like the. It's like the fourth time that's gotten referenced on this fucking show for no reason.
I think it's just a random SNL, but I don't know.
Oh, Mach is hulking up here. No selling shit.
Fans are into it. That's
they're damn into it.
And we are in Horseman country, right?
Mhm.
Richmond. Yeah.
They're into it. They're
because.
cheering for Savage too. Damn, is Flair gonna hit some off the top rope? No, he's gonna. Oh, that was a bit of a botch.
I think
he clipped it.
I don't think the Quiet Core communicated that.
He
move
clipped.
very
Well, he's supposed to jump over him, but he clipped his foot on the way down, and he couldn't recover.
I guess.
Shivani doing what Shivani does is selling a pay-per-view that already happened.
After it's you got to buy. Like I said, you got to buy that re-showing.
I guess Pritchard was talking one day, and all I do with my life is listen to podcasts. But I guess back in the day, if you showed moving video from any pay-per-view on your network channel, you get fined like thousands of dollars from the pay-per-view distribution.
Really?
Oh, right.
See, they showed the interview. They showed the part right up until the point Bischoff gets powerbombed off the stage.
Yeah, and you weren't supposed to show finishes of matches even in pictures.
Really?
That was part of the stipulation as well.
No shit. Oh, foreign object. Had the knucks. God damn it, Flair's awesome.
And I thought he was going to flop.
Just elbow drop for no reason. Oh, he kicked out. He's going to get in his usual shoving match with Randy Anderson.
People just randomly, like, they're not cheering or anything, will just stand up and do the four horseman symbol and sit back down.
Ref bump.
Because they're like, hey, you're on TV.
Right.
Dude, this is a great match. I mean, both these guys are capable of having a great match, but a lot of times they just phone it in because they are who they are.
Another fan observation, there are people in the crowd that, no matter what's happening, constantly look towards the entranceway because they're waiting for someone to run out.
Who's going to run out? That gets worse in a couple years.
Well, because it gets really bad about
There's so many goddamn run-ins.
Because it happens.
It literally happens about every match in a year and a half.
Oh, he's going up for another elbow drop. He's going to jump over the dames.
Get out of my way. Nice.
Damn, Liz showing some agility in them fucking heels.
Yeah. He didn't pin him. Oh, there we go. There's the run.
Got some horse. Oh, shit. Benoit's like, hey, I want you to pile drive me.
He's like, really do it, man.
Because I like head trauma. Double A. This match is... Uh-oh. Mongo.
Mongo with the briefcase.
The newly... Uh-oh.
To the back of the head.
Got the Halliburton.
Boom. That was...
To the back area. The Bactal area.
Go!
There we go. To the head. Dude, the crowd is losing their mind. Flair's got to win this fucking feud.
They gonna cheer or they gonna boo?
Oh, they're going to cheer.
Oh, yeah. Look at the people go nuts.
Throw the babies in the air. That match was pretty well... There was like no rest spots in that match at all.
No.
Yeah.
There was no rest spot.
There was the time they
Unless they
both
did
went
their
down.
commercials.
They both went down outside for a second, but that's it.
Yeah. I mean, those are two guys in their mid-40s that just went for. Click on Cage Match, see how long that match went.
I love how Benoit's advertising the pay-per-view that already happened.
He's wearing a Great American Bash t-shirt.
He gets pay-per-view buy points for pay-per-views that already happened.
Man, that was only 12 minutes?
12:46.
12:46 seemed longer than that. Matches that are short, that are good, always seem longer than they actually are.
It's because it was 12 minutes of action.
You know, in the Fed, a pile driver is banned.
Yeah,
Like Vince will not let you do a pile driver.
Really?
It's a banned move. It's like a vertebreaker. You can't even do it.
So does like Undertaker not do it, or Kane, or anybody?
You can do a tombstone.
Okay.
You can do a kneeling tombstone. You can't do an Owen Hart break Steve Austin's
You
neck.
can't do the Kenny Omega or Okada jump in the air spin.
Probably not. Yeah.
You're not allowed to spin in the WWE right now. That's not the safe style.
Oh, here we go.
I'd say those are
Man,
real bruises too.
Sullivan, jeez.
Well, before you came down here, Benoit was like legit bruised around his eye and shit. Like those are probably real.
I would like to point out something that they fucked up here.
What's that?
Okay.
There are still Hulkamania memorabilia hanging on these lockers.
We just talked about that.
No,
Well,
I know, but the Dungeon of Doom would go fucking ballistic over that. They hate Hulkamania.
They should have tore them down in
Or
anger.
they should show them going nuts and tearing it down.
It's all just a hey. Remember Hulk Hogan? Hey, remember him?
Don't forget about him.
He might be back soon.
He might
Wink,
show
wink,
up
nod, nod.
at some very important juncture in the coming months.
And save the day because he's a baby face.
That's a real good question. Were we the question of what if they never signed Hogan
in '94?
In '94,
Flair probably would have been the face of the company.
I would argue they'd probably still be a wrestling fed right now.
Probably.
I mean, they really would, because that set a lot of other bullshit in motion.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't necessarily Hogan's fault at all, but
what do you think would have happened if they didn't sign Hogan, but everyone else that got signed after that still got signed?
Yeah,
I'd say they'd still be a company because, like, Kevin Nash and all that wouldn't have had the precedent of Hogan.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go back to this. I believe Bret Hart would have been the face of the company had he come without Hogan.
Very possible.
And it could have been Nash, Hall, and Hart.
Yeah, might have been. I don't know.
I think all that would have played out different because Hogan would have came back Hogan would have came back anyhow. Hogan would have came to the WWF because he couldn't make it as an actor, which means Bret Hart never ends up where he is. Shawn Michaels never ends up where he ends up. Hall, Nash, none of those guys end up where they end up. So instead of the NWO, they all go to WCW, and it's a legitimate wrestling fed, and you never have the invasion angle, but you have good wrestling that still lasts today, and Vince is out of business, hopefully.
If that happens and Hogan goes, if Hogan goes back to the Fed, fucking WCW might win the fucking war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, like just if Hogan didn't come, but everyone else that ever did still come. I mean, the circumstances would have been different.
These are all hypotheticals, but they're fun to talk about. Like,
if you don't want to get too deep into it, I think Savage takes Hogan's position in the New World Order.
Very, very likely.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Or maybe Michaels comes over because he couldn't get quite as over.
And he lost his smile.
Hell yeah, Michaels might have came over if Hogan had not been there.
Yeah. Honestly, that would have been more organic because at least they were all actually like friends. The clique.
Hell, Triple H may have made his way over there eventually. You never know. If Hogan came back to the
because it's not like he was with Steph at the time.
No.
Right. He was with China.
I mean, a lot of people. I was reading something. I think it was from What Culture, one of those where it was insane wrestling theories, and one of them. And this is like the one out of those 10 that I kind of believed. Jesus' promos went on a long time. I'm just trying to fill time because this is boring as hell. That Vince Russo was a plant all along. Vince McMahon said, Vince, I want you to go down. Your contract's up. Here's the deal. Here's a bonus. I want you to go down. I want you to sink that fucking place down there. I wouldn't put it past him.
Right, and then also I wouldn't put it past that being the plan, and then Vince saying he would let him come back, but never let him come back because he basically did what he needed him to do, and he's pointless to him now.
Shrewd businessman.
I think probably along those lines, but probably much closer to the truth is that Vince McMahon knew without him there to say, no, Russo, that's fucking stupid, that he would fucking ruin WCW, so let the motherfucker go.
Vince Russo may not have had any part of that.
Right.
It may have been Vince being like, okay, I know where this guy's heading.
Uh-huh.
Because Vince McMahon's the Emperor Palpatine of wrestling.
He is. Don't forget, folks, they're not a part, or they're not associated with the WWF in any way.
The WW.
Yeah, the WW. I still think that was a mistake. They should have wrote Vince the check.
Yeah. It probably would have been things they had to write a check every week, though.
It's Ted Turner. Ted Turner could buy and sell Vince McMahon fucking 100 times.
Yeah.
They write a fucking check for stupider shit than that.
Yeah.
They're going to fucking write a check to Bret Hart every week to sit on fucking Thunder and talk about his cat Smokey.
So is Bischoff done as an announcer?
No.
Does he come back for a time?
He comes back for a time. No, he's not there tonight because he's injured.
Right.
Yeah.
But he comes back. They explain what he does with his time off, though, later.
Do they?
Harley?
They do.
Yeah, Grant's watched ahead, so he knows what's
He's like in 1999.
No, I'm ready. I'm ready for 3 count. I thought they were on this week.
Oh, God.
3 count.
I did kind of like that thing from the Final Deletion or whatever it's called.
With Shane Helms. That was pretty awesome. Dude, if Matt Hardy shows up at the Rumble, I will mark in my pants.
Mark in your pants. Yeah. I don't know.
Like, I'd mark out for that.
I'd mark out for it, but I'm always so afraid of how they'll get used there.
I know. I mean, it's
like AJ, like, he's still awesome,
AJ,
but he's not like my favorite anymore.
Right, yeah. AJ kind of, I mean, fucking world champ. It's not like he got buried.
He's not buried.
However, Gallows and Anderson got fucking buried.
Yeah.
So if Hardy gets buried in the WWE, is that lower or higher than the absolute undisputed king of the mountain in TNA?
True.
Being the lowest form of jobber in WWE is probably better than being this champion at TNA.
It means you probably have a job next week, which in TNA, I am.
Well, they're owned by the Hoot Owl Company now.
Right. When
it's like Geddy Lee's the CEO.
Yeah, it's like Fly By Night's album cover with Impact wrote on top of it.
It sounds like Barnett was well received.
I didn't watch. I don't know.
I haven't seen it yet. I don't think it's aired yet because they record 9 months in advance or whatever.
Is Barnett the guy that does commentary with Jim Ross on
Yes.
Access?
He's an MMA fighter.
Wonder if he's still going to be doing that.
He's wrestled for
Ray.
He wrestles or did wrestle in what was it, IGF?
One of those.
Yeah, the Inoki Genome Federation.
Yeah.
Inoki Genome. I wouldn't put it past Antonio Inoki to try to clone himself.
Yeah.
He tried some weird shit.
Yeah.
Barnett's a good pro wrestler. I'm a fan of his style.
I like Josh Barnett just as he cuts a great promo.
Yeah.
You guys, are you guys familiar with Minoru Suzuki?
Seems like I should be.
I don't think I've ever seen him.
He was a part of that whole when Inoki kind of branched off into MMA. He was a part of that.
Okay.
He was one of their early guys.
That's not the great Suzuki.
No.
That's different.
Minoru Suzuki actually just showed up at that New Year's Dash at the end.
Okay.
Suzuki Gun is how they pronounce it. It's kind of like the modern day NWO, but also the Bullet Club is, I guess you could say. But Davey Boy Smith's son is a part of Suzuki Goon. The Killer Elite Squad, he's a tag team with some other dude.
Gotcha.
But anyways, yeah, Minoru Suzuki was part of that whole MMA turn.
Kind of
back in
more of a shoot style.
Back in the late 90s, early 2000s or whatever.
Oh, we get a return match from last night with Malenko and Rey Mysterio Jr. This has This has potential. It's like,
You malfunction there for a second, or
it's my Rick Sanchez burp.
I will say we will mention this 1,000 times between now and the end of Nitro. Man, the WCW belts look good.
yeah, they're great.
Yeah, cruiserweight belt's a good looking belt. See what this match Meltzer rated this match too. Like their match last night got like 4.5 stars. This match gets 3.25.
Half a star. Where in nature does half a star exist? That's not a star. That's maybe a black hole or a red dwarf. That's not a fucking half a star.
Did you see the No Fear T-shirt in the crowd?
No.
Zach, do something here.
No.
1996 was this June 17th, 1996. See what was number one on the charts at this time in 1996.
The Billboard
Top 100 or whatever. This is a nostalgia podcast, all in all. We might as well see what else was going on in the world.
What's I'm gonna guess in the rock charts.
Better than Ezra.
I'm hoping the new release from Best of Van Halen with David Lee Roth's up there.
With Me Wise Magic.
Yeah, come on, Me Wise Magic.
Which is for some reason my favorite David Lee Roth song, and it's not even.
It's really good.
The number one song this week was Bone Thugs and Harmony, The Crossroads.
Okay.
Boom, 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 boom.
All right.
Boom, boom, boom. Tell me, I'm gonna sing those songs. Tell me what you gonna do and ain't nowhere to run. Judgment comes for you, and it's gonna come for you.
Meanwhile, friggin' Ray and Dean are having a 5-star match, and we're talking about fucking goddamn Bone Thugs.
What did I do?
That's awesome. Oh boy.
I like how it takes WCW. It takes them the same amount of time to explain why the hell all the Mexican wrestlers wear masks as it does for all the Mexican wrestlers to lose their masks.
Right. It's part of their culture and it represents the fucking Aztec whatever the fuck.
And Jericho's taking it off.
This is before Mysterio had the wraparound mask.
I can't wait till he had the wraparound mask at Great American Bash. This is just a different mask.
Just an alternate.
He's got one that's
his alternate costume.
Oklahoma roll.
He pressed start instead of A.
He has the alternate attire on.
We will see just a little preview of the future since I brought up Jericho. I forgot what a babyface he was to start with.
Oh, he's just white meat as hell to start out. Just Lionheart Chris Jericho.
I like it. I didn't realize how over he was either.
Yeah, he's just a plucky babyface.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just like, all right, enough of this. I'm just gonna clothesline the shit out of you.
I bearded Malenko, so I'm mad.
I want like a Jim Ross. He killed him button, so I could just.
He killed him.
Stop the damn match. That man has a family.
He killed him.
God damn.
I like this.
Selling the back.
His half-drawn question marks on his trunks or his pants look like sperm.
I was thinking boomerangs, but sure,
there
sperm.
We'll go with boomerangs. It's the Riddler.
A little modified half crab here. Hold number 678.
Armbar.
I can't wait for that. That's the best feud of all WCW.
Right? That's like mid-98.
Malenko, Jericho.
Lane. Oh, it was Malenko and Jericho. What was the Lenny Lane one was he owes him $1,000. Right.
Which is just asinine.
That's part of the same feud, though.
It was like a Thunder mid-card feud.
Yeah. What's funny is like $1,000 isn't that nice brain buster. $1,000 isn't that much money to these guys.
Right.
So,
maybe less than them at that.
And an interesting point that we'll touch on again when we get there, I'm sure. Chris Jericho's gimmick at the time, and it's mid-card. He leaves and goes to the WWF and enters with the same exact gimmick, and it is immediately fucking over.
Over as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a
He's
giant
just like,
production.
I'm sort of this quasi rock star kind of persona thing. I don't really know how to explain it, but
he's an 80s hair metal wrestler.
Yeah, pretty much. Speaking of that, when do we get Van Hammer?
Well, he's around before the Flock.
When can he start botching the shit out of moves?
Hell, he's probably around already just on Saturday night.
Backflip for no reason. Leapfrog. Oh, electric chair. And that.
The electric slide.
The electric slide. Remember when we had to line dance for PE in 4th grade?
Damn it. Now I do.
It fucking pisses me off to this day. If I have to remember it, you do too. It's terrible.
They were trying to force their culture on us.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I think we should have had... Here you go. Here's what we're going to do for PE. You're going to work a 10-minute Broadway.
That's exactly what I was
You're going to recreate the Steamboat Flair feud over
Savage
next
Steamboat or some shit like that. Like, I would have been into that. I mean, that's no different than a dance.
Does anyone remember we didn't, and it's disappointing as hell. Our high school, and all three of us went to the same high school.
You're thinking the exact same thing I'm thinking right now.
We did not have a wrestling team.
No,
but we did. We did for a few weeks in PE.
We'll get back to you. Hold on.
Have a wrestling class.
We didn't have a wrestling team,
but we covered wrestling in PE for a while.
Okay, yeah, this is what I thought.
For our freshman year, until like somebody got dropped on their head real bad and we had to quit.
I was about to make that exact comment. You literally were saying what I was.
There was someone who will remain nameless. I dropped an incredibly stiff, and this is collegiate style wrestling, an incredibly stiff pedigree on.
No.
Wasn't that?
Yeah, we're not dropping people's names.
His initials are MC.
MC. Okay, I thought it was somebody else.
Nice T-bone suplex, cradle T-bone suplex from Malenko.
I was thinking it was J.O. for some reason.
So Grant, are you the reason we had to quit doing wrestling and athletic PE?
Well, I remember the day
I was a little stiff.
Shackman announced we're doing wrestling. Everybody went, awesome! He's like, immediately, not pro wrestling.
Aww.
And we're like, dang it.
South Park did an episode on that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I stretched a lot of people real good.
Just
I had enough grappling ability that no one was going to wrestle me.
I mean, this was 1999.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, everybody loved wrestling.
That's true. Everybody was watching that shit from 98 to 99. Oh, man. If only.
I wonder if Mr. Dieter still watches wrestling, just in case he sees one of us someday.
Should we get him on the podcast?
We should try.
He might listen to this podcast.
This might be one of our listeners.
Ooh, that was nice. They got to do the Joey Styles calling that Huracan Rana.
No, it's oh my god.
Oh, he just fucking threw Malenko's face right into the bottom rope. Not a big Joey Styles guy.
He was going to be the voice of WCW had Bischoff bought it.
Yeah. A sunset flip powerbomb for 2. This match is getting some time. Glad to see the cruiserweights being able to work. What the hell? Where?
Who's the WWF lightweight champion at this time?
It's like
Making no shoes.
It's like, yeah, somebody like that, like S.A. Rios or Taka. They maybe hadn't formed the division yet, honestly. Malenko just bumped himself.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the light heavyweight title might have been a response to this.
It's so garbagey in WWF. Counters a Pescado into a reverse DDT, and that's it.
I bet it was Brian Christopher.
I don't think he was around.
That was like 98.
Yeah.
It seems like he had that belt forever.
I don't think anybody's been able to recreate.
Do you know who the last light heavyweight champion was in WWF?
Let me think about it. The last light heavyweight champion. What year would it have been?
Like 2000, maybe.
X-Pac.
That's wrong. Grant, you got a guess?
No, I have the ability to cheat right now
Probably
because I'm
something.
staring at it, but I won't.
You are right. It is something stupid.
It's a girl.
Gilbert.
Oh, Gilbert. Jeez.
That sums up their division.
That sums it up perfectly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. After this episode, I'm going to have to go tinkle.
Well, that's fine.
Oh, there we go. Never mind.
I really like how Malenko wins with a different move every match.
1001
Because
holds.
he's got so many. He'd just beat you with anything. Like the night before this Great American Bash, it was a power bomb. This is a reverse DDT. Like he'll beat you so many different ways. That's his character. I like that.
But his finisher is the Texas Cloverleaf.
Well, we haven't really seen it though. So his finisher could be anything at any time.
That's a good gimmick, though. His
It really-
finisher is everything.
He's just that fucking good.
Yeah.
All right, so interesting fact here. The WWF lightweight title is the same title that was in the UWA and NJPW.
Okay.
It was not recognized until December 7th of 97 when Taka Michinoku defeats Brian Christopher at In Your House Degeneration X in a lightweight tournament.
So
another year they have a light heavyweight.
you're saying that the NJPW light heavyweight title is the
Yes.
title they used?
That it is the same lineage. If you the champion, it's the same lineage. So
So
now,
when did it branch off then?
so 97 is when it's first recognized there. It's vacated. So right now, this is interesting because he'll show up here pretty soon. El Samurai is the champion right now, but on October 11th of 96, it will be one of the titles that the Ultimo Dragon has.
Oh, the Super J, whatever that's called.
Super J Cup is a tournament.
No, but the picture of the Ultimo Dragon with like the 15
All those-
belts on.
right,
That's
yeah.
called a Super J something.
So on
I just know the
November,
Super J Cup tournament is all I know of.
so I'm reading this on November.
Super J Crown is what that's called.
November 5th, 97, the J Crown was vacated. Otani
you
returned 5 of the belts except the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. He was the final wrestler to hold the title before it was returned to the WWF.
So there you go. Because
I'm
that famous Ultimo Dragon, he's got like 18
Yeah, I know what
fucking
you're
belts.
talking about. Yeah.
We're going to see that
He
in
still
about
has like
4
18
months.
belts. If you look up his name on Cage Match, he's like got titles everywhere still.
I can't wait till we see us some Ultimo Dragon. It's
Ultimo
gonna be
Dragon.
fucking awesome. So you'll notice Scott Steiner has his ribs taped. That was something that happened in the opening match that you missed. Rick Steiner wrestled Stevie Ray. After the finish of the match, Booker T interferes, goes to drop a top rope knee drop onto Rick. Scott shields him and eats the move, so now he's got taped ribs for his title match against...
Which means he's going to lose.
yes. Was it a couple weeks ago that Scott Steiner hit the Giant full on in the face with a wooden chair? You remember that? I think that happened.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And it was he hit him right in the goddamn face.
Oh, Zach, I might have good news for you.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
On the
I'm listening.
looks like X-Pac is the final.
What?
Yeah,
It's Gilbert.
August 19th,
Okay.
2001.
Did he win it from Gilbert? Or is Clay just blowing smoke altogether?
Fuck, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Gilbert, no, there were several after Gilbert. Gilbert lost it to Essa Rios, who lost it to Malenko, who lost it to Scotty 2 Hottie, who lost it to Malenko, who lost it to Crash Holly, who lost it to Jerry Lynn, who lost it to Jeff Hardy, who lost it to X-Pac, who lost it to Tajiri, who lost it to X-Pac.
And Abraham begot Samuel.
I could have swore it was fucking Gilbert.
No, it doesn't look like
All
it.
right. I was
So I was
wrong.
right.
You're right. I
I
don't
was
know.
right.
And what the hell am I thinking
I
of?
won't gloat, but I am awesome, and I was right. And I know everything.
Bow before me, all-knowing. So Steiner's working the injury angle. He keeps trying to lift up the Giant, and as we know,
in real life, Steiner probably could just troll him around with the finger.
He probably could fucking German suplex him anytime he wanted.
Oh, he
really could.
He curls that much.
If you took Big Show now and stood him side by side to this guy here, they look like two totally different people.
Oh, you can't. Like, Big Show's got a big old beard, and
Big Show is not even the same person.
He's way thicker now.
It would have been interesting to. We need a time machine. There's no way they would have ever done this. But every year, the wrestling organization needs to basically have the NFL Combine for all of its wrestlers,
just to see what they can do.
Yeah. I would love to see what a guy like the Giant or, any of those guys like that you aren't traditionally athletic, just to see what the hell they can do.
That probably more than you think.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd also like to just watch him run the 40.
Like Viscera runs the 40.
Dude, I bet now and for the last probably 10 years, The Undertaker probably has a 6-minute 40.
That dude is in phenomenal shit. Like, there's YouTube videos of him, like, deadlifting, like, some insane amount of weight.
He is, but his knees don't bend either.
No, I mean, he's obviously...
Like, there's also pictures of him walking with crutches.
Like, he's got some problems, but for that guy to have, like, he can still do a goddamn plancha and shit.
Right.
And he's 50 whatever and been doing this since 1991.
Yeah.
I think even had the announcers like, it turns out Scott Hudson can like clean and jerk 290 pounds.
Just get the announcers in there too.
Everyone.
Get the announcers just as a reference point. Like, these are normal guys.
Like, Penzer can bench press 46. Nick Patrick, he started as a wrestler. Am I making that up?
No. You can tell, like, he's a big framed guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's bigger than Ric Flair.
Yeah.
You can tell he started as a wrestler.
Like, late in the company's history, like, you had that one ref, he's had a bald head, but he was obviously, like, a bodybuilder, or, like, doing a wrestler on the side. I don't remember his name, but it was like, towards the end.
Was it TNA? Was it TNA that had ref with a gimmick, or is that WCW?
They had ref with a gimmick, yeah. then they had a guy named Shane Sewell, who actually wrestled as a referee. Which, actually, you know what, they did that back in WWF in the late 80s, early 90s with Danny Davis, Dangerous Danny Davis.
What a dad.
Who was the ref. He was the evil referee, but he also wrestled some too.
Huh. And
he had like zebra striped trunks and shit. So,
to the other Dan Davis, if you're listening, quit doing shrooms at your kid's birthday party.
That guy's got to be dead. Like, that guy's not still alive, is he?
I don't know. Let's see.
I was under my desk at work doing cocaine.
Banging hoors. So for the other 300 million people that don't know what
how
we're
many
talking
inside like references have been in this podcast?
we had a motivational speaker in high school.
I just found him.
Are you serious? That took 2 seconds.
He kind of looks like Jim Hellwig.
Like, you found him on Facebook or something, or
he's got a website, but just look up Dan Davis motivational speaker. He refers to himself as a reality therapist.
Reality therapist, huh?
There's videos on the site. I'm going to try to find the What a Dad speech.
Oh, no.
We'll play that as part of the
Boy, he
intro.
does look like Hellwig in that one picture.
What's that?
He does look a little bit like Hellwig in that one picture. So anyway, the story on Dan Davis.
What a dad.
Is this guy was like a former pro football prospect. And basically, he was a cocaine addict.
He was an All-American. Dan Davis.
Don't. He's just shouting at the camera.
We're watching a YouTube video of him shouting at kids. Okay.
All right, you can't. All right. So anyway, the wooden chair's back in. We'll talk about Dan Davis later. I know you all are riveted.
Have we talked about this episode of Nitro at all?
Yeah, some. Low blow
Before
by the
you
rope.
showed up.
Oh, Scotty's getting some momentum. Chop block.
My mind trails very easily.
Oh, chin lock. This is good. Okay, so Dan Davis.
So this reminds me of Shoney's, which is where Scott Steiner works. And
We really need to go to that Shoney's
With a camera.
to see if we can get him to call us a half breed.
have a freaking pilgrimage to the Shoney's Mecca.
Shoney's in Smyrna, Georgia, or wherever the fuck it is.
It's probably just a suburb of Atlanta, I'm sure.
It is. I looked it up.
Okay.
Here's a video of someone on YouTube making fun of Dan Davis doing an impression.
Oh no.
Oh my god. Remember that guy that we had as a motivational speaker that was blind that we seen drive away from school?
Oh, hold on. Holy dog shit.
Oh, nice. I seen it.
He just T-bone suplex the fucking giant like it was nothing. Damn, he would have won if he wouldn't have fucking showboated so much.
Bad psychology.
Dude, like,
strategy.
that's how, like, and the Giants helping him too, but he made that look very easy.
He just tossed him.
Just tossed the shit out of him. So if I want something bad enough, I can do superhuman things. Heenan, we know how dangerous Scott Steiner is with a wooden chair.
Uh-huh.
Jesus Christ.
It shows like, don't you dare hit me again.
DQ, ref.
That's
What
one
the
of those. That's one of those. Don't fucking do it because the fans think it's fake.
He's gonna no sell it because
That was rigged. That was a rigged chair that time.
I like how I think Jimmy Hart just got some of the wood out of the ring so he wouldn't land on the jagged piece of chair. So, major announcement after this timeout. I almost wish these had commercials in them, like
so we can take breaks.
Like era-specific commercials for like Honeycomb and shit.
If you watch and don't do it, this kids, it's illegal. Copies like on Daily Motion and stuff. Like sometimes the commercials are still included.
So Dan Davis was a motivational speaker who would shout at children about him doing cocaine in front of his son and getting launched off the hood of a car.
Who had a short stint in WCW as a wrestler named Glacier.
Like, he basically cuts pro wrestling style promos on high school
He basically
kids.
is the Ultimate Warrior, but he just like goes to schools and screams at kids.
And he probably did less coke.
Maybe.
Turn that shit down. We're going to get content
kidding.
ID'd from Danny Davis. Oh, I'm about to piss myself.
You have 2 minutes.
I done drank 3 Michelob Ultras and I can't takes no more. Oh. Get on with it, Mean Gene. So they're explaining to us how they picked the 3 wrestlers who will face the outsiders at Bash at the Beach. They randomly picked. They had the 6 best wrestlers with the 6 best win-loss records.
Of course.
Kayfabe, right?
Yeah.
And the 6 wrestlers that they picked from were Ric Flair, the Giant, Hulk Hogan, Sting, Lex Luger, and Randy Savage. So how does Hogan not get picked for this?
Right.
Because the fucker hasn't lost a match in 8 fucking years.
Yeah.
Which Ric Flair loses all the fucking time.
Ric Flair hardly ever wins. He wins title. He won 16 title matches, and that's about it.
We never see him win a fucking match.
He's like Randy Couture.
Yeah, he's got a terrible record, but he's a legend for some reason.
Because he wins half of his title shots, which is 1 million.
I just love to think how whenever the cameras turn off, you just know Gene's like this stupid shit.
So, which one of you whores do I gotta fuck to get a double scotch around here? So, it's been announced: Sting, Randy Savage, and Lex Luger versus the Outsiders at Bash at the Beach.
Yep.
So the stage is set. Speaking of which, we need to discuss our logistics of how we're gonna. We need to.
When will that be? How many weeks are we from that? We'll
like
talk about
3, I think.
We'll talk about it in 15 seconds.
Okay. All right. So this episode is pretty much over. I'm going to leave it with Zach and Grant for the outro, and I'm going to go pee. So good night, everybody.
Bye-bye. Clay couldn't wait. Oh, Jesus.
It's just the keyboard. Son of a bitch.
It's fine. It's just the keyboard.
It's just the Dell Gateway keyboard from '97.
So anyways, we'll stop talking about things you guys can't see. As Clay goes pee, just want to remind you all that you need to subscribe to us on Twitter and YouTube. And like, comment, subscribe on iTunes. Do all that stuff that every podcast begs you to do every time you listen to one. And until next time, I'm Zach. And Grant's not going to say anything, but he's there too, chewing on something.
No, I'm sorry. I was shaking my head in agreement that you are Zach.
Oh. Anyways, see you next time.